It's powered by a 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, made it to a 10-speed automatic. Here is the Bronco Everglades. It is based off the Sasquatch. We got the worn winch up front. But yeah, underneath the hood, we have about 300 horse, 3¼ pound-feet of torque. And you would think for over 5,000 pounds, that might not be enough. And you don't have the option of the manual transmission on this Everglades model. But we'll talk about the driving experience here in a little bit before we give you just the walk around on this impressive specimen of an off-roading machine. Now, I do live here in South Florida, and I'm maybe about an hour and a half from the Everglades. I'm not taking this down the Everglades. Even though this can ford through about 3 feet of water, I'm not going to get stuck in a swamp anywhere and then be surrounded by alligators and pythons. So most people are going to be driving these around parking lots in the aka the mall crawler sort of mentality. But yes, of course, this thing is going to be an absolute monster off-road, and it looks like it's built for the safari. I want to give you guys a little tidbit here. Even though this is an Everglades, it should not be called the Sasquatch. Here in South Florida, we do have Sasquatch, but they're called skunk apes, and there's an actual museum. So if Ford wants to do it right, they call this the Everglades Skunk Ape Edition. Of course, we have the massive off-road tires, the tiny wheels. This thing actually handles quite well, surprisingly. The huge tire on the back makes this, I guess, just completes the overall look. So let's swing open the tailgate here and then flip this up, kind of like a Jeep. Lots of cargo back here. You can see all these additional pouches for storage. This is the controller for the worn winch, and all these panels are removable throughout the cabin. So if you want to take the top off, you can do that. And we have a little 12-volt accessory back here, little Bronco inspired lights, LED lights. So yeah, very usable space. And of course, you can fold down these seats, and they will go pretty much flat, but they're going to run into, you know, you got to take off the headrest essentially to maximize the flat floor in here. Remember always to put the glass down first, then the lift gate, or the swing gate, I should say. Close that up. Let's get in the back, fold these seats back to where they go. Oh, there we are. And notice this seat folds forward, so it allows the back cushion to fold flat. So it's some pretty cool engineering here by Ford. These seats do feel very synthetic, but they are comfortable. You're gonna sit back here. Don't step right here, even though who's gonna be climbing through here? All right, we have the window controls here like a Jeep, and it is automatic, so I do appreciate that. They must be locked right now. You also have a power adapter here for 400 watts. Love that additional power accessory. And then also USB-C and a USB-A back here. You have this grid pattern for locking things into place. Small mat pockets on each side. Very durable, hard back to the seat here. Now, all the windows here are frameless like a coupe, and that has its benefits. It also has its drawbacks. But the back windows and doors seem pretty solid. It's when we get into the front, as you'll see, I have some issues with this system, because if I pull this door too fast, it catches on the sealant here and it rattles the window. So like over time, okay, watch this. Over time, this might loosen the window. I can hear it rattling every time I open the door. So if I own this truck, I would try to open it as slowly as possible, maybe with 2 hands. That way I'm not pulling and putting torque on this window. All right, blind spot monitor here with the square mirrors. These doors up front look exactly the same as the doors in the back. Manual seats, no power seats on this model. We got the Bronco logo emblazoned into the shoulder rest there. Leather wrap steering wheel with the Bronco logo on it. I like this attention to detail, these grab handles that help you get in. And this just feels super high quality right here. We have a small MID right here, but it gives me all the information I want. And before idling, I was getting about 19 miles per gallon in town. I don't understand how that's possible because this truck weighs over 5,200 pounds, but it does have a small 4-cylinder. It has a 10-speed auto, so you know that automatic transmission is probably helping maximize the efficiency. We also have an analog speedometer here, even though this portion on the right is digital. But I quite like it. I think they complement each other quite well. And this also has a stop-start engine feature. That is going to kill the 4-cylinder when it feels like it can. I love this small windshield. Now, this is the problem with small windshields that are very upright, is that they increase your chances of cracking your windshield. I did not do that. It came like this, but just keep that in mind. Maybe get a service agreement when you buy your Bronco to have your windshield be protected. But I love how small these wipers are. Look how cute this is. And if we look in the back, that wiper might even be smaller. Super cute for such a big macho truck to have such small wipers, but that's what happens when you have vertical glass. Front locking diff, rear locking diff, turn assist here. You can turn off traction control. Small cubby back here as well. I love this screen. It's super bright. It's got great resolution. I can minimize Android Auto if I want to listen to, let's say, Sirius XM over here, or I can maximize it. I can even maximize the entire map. There we go. Got it. Just had to press a couple buttons there. I love the functional knobs here for volume tuning. It's right off the shifter. Well done, Ford. Manual fan control. We have heated seats in this model, USB-A, USB-C. A pad down here that I just put my phone. I just activated my camera, but I'm sure in certain models you might be able to do a wireless charger. This reminds me of the Bronco Sport that I had. You have this little badge here, designed and engineered in Dearborn, Michigan, built at the Michigan assembly plant. The Bronco themed shifter here, I like it a lot. I like the leather, the American flag at the bottom of this silver piece as well. Here are your GOAT modes, which pop up right here on the MID. And you have quite a few of them. I just wish it was a little bit more responsive. It feels kind of laggy, but I do like the graphics here. Very high quality graphics. So different modes, and check this out. So when you put in different GOAT modes, it will say 4 low, shift to neutral. So like it wants to do that right now. So it's cool that the GOAT modes will put you, or at least encourage you to get into the right 4x4 mode, which is pretty cool. We're just going to keep it in normal mode today. And this truck has over 18,000 miles. It's still in the press fleet here, so I'll be able to tell you when we start driving, creaks and rattles. We have electronic window control here. You just press that button. That will control your left mirror for your right mirror. Like a Jeep, all of your window controls are here in the middle. Opening this up, some more 12-volt accessory power. Also like this grab handle here to match the one on each end of the dash. So it just has a very high quality rubber durable feel that gives you a nice grip. Up top, like a Jeep, we have a gajillion aux imports, and I'm ready to start driving the Bronco. All right, putting this 4-cylinder into drive, I should say the 10-speed auto into drive. It connects to the 4-cylinder. My initial thoughts that for such a big heavy truck, this 4-cylinder 300 horsepower, when you put premium in it, it's about 275 or so if you put regular, which you can put regular if you need to. But I mean, I don't know. I would have to have more testing to see if regular fits the bill. But with premium in it, I honestly think it's plenty quick, and we're going to go through this. And it handles, guys, this handles so well. I'm surprised. Now maybe it's I think the tires are like 315 width, which is just insanely wide, but it's going to give you more contact area when you're off-roading or wading through water. So let's talk about ride quality. Ride quality is actually fantastic in here. It's the noise quality that you're going to have to decide if you can live with. So ride quality, very comfortable, soaks everything up as you would imagined it would, but it is, I feel like I'm only, I don't know why I checked my watch for the speedometer, but I'm only going 38, and I feel like I have to yell in here because the tire noise is so loud. Everything's echoing in here because everything's hard touch everywhere around me. What else? Also, when you hit broken pavement, like I said, the suspension handles it no problem, but you're gonna have rattling going on, throughout the cabin from these panels that are removable. Foot down. I'm not in sport mode. I think it's plenty powerful, and you can, when you're crawling around the neighborhood, you hear the 4-cylinder ticking away because there's hardly any. It feels like there's hardly any insulation between the 4-cylinder engine compartment and the cabin compartment. But once you're up to speed, you don't hear the engine because everything else is so loud, with the wind coming in from certain areas around here as well as around this area. The tire noise is deafening too. The visibility in here, despite a small windshield, is actually really good. I have these huge square windows, and I don't feel like I have any blind spots because the back windows are quite enormous as well. So let's get into the brakes here behind this F-150. Yeah, that's where you really feel the weight of this truck, which is interesting because you would think you'd feel it with a small 4-cylinder, but I feel like this 4-cylinder, like I said, is very peppy, it hides the weight well, but when you get into the brake pedal, it's fairly progressive, but I wouldn't want to do repeated heavy stops in something like this. I'm not sure how well the brakes would hold up from something like that. And also with the traffic passing, it's not going that fast. You hear all the cars around you. It almost feels like you're in a convertible, which it is a convertible, but the top's on. So it feels like like the loudest convertible I've ever been. It's louder than an MX-5 Miata with ambient noise around the vehicle. AC in here is fantastic. No, it hasn't been the hottest week here in South Florida, but I like how customizable the vents are. I can, it's rare that I can get the side vent over here for the passenger to do a good job at hitting me and cooling me off. This thing's awesome. I love this little vent over here, and these do a great job as well. And of course you can close them off. That's about as old as time, right? With the slidey dial there to control the airflow on each individual vent. Oh, the sound system's pretty good in here as well, which you might want to have on most of the time so you're not just hit with all the extra noise going on. Comfort, at least from a spatial comfort and feeling comfort, I feel good. Like my thighs actually feel pretty well supported with the cushion. I'm about 6'1" with really long legs, so I feel like I fit in here really, really well. And I have a ton of headroom, so spatial wise, very comfortable, as long as you can deal with your ears bleeding for if you're in here for a longer period of time. And actually I prefer not to drive this truck this week to take my kids to school. Like, I have to yell for them to hear me, and it's just it's so loud. So that's just my personal preference. Some of you guys might not have an issue with all the ambient noise, tire noise, wind noise coming in. It might not bother you, but that's something you're going to have to compromise with to get this sort of truck. And I think for the price, around $55,000, this Bronco Everglades, I think it's a great deal. Where else are you going to find this badass of a truck for around that price point? I think it looks way better than any Jeep. I like this better than the Jeep. I think the technology in here is better than the Jeeps, and I don't know. I prefer this over the Jeeps I've tested on the channel. Let me know down below if you guys would pick a Jeep over the Bronco. But just from an aesthetic point of view, as well as from the interior, I just like this a lot better than the Jeeps I've tested. It seems louder than the Jeeps I've tested though, which I didn't think was possible. So here's the thing, for around $55K, you're getting close to the entry price of the upcoming Land Cruiser. I haven't driven it yet, but that's going to have similar, actually better power, right? Because of the hybrid 4-cylinder, have better torque. It'll have similar-ish interior quality. I should say quality materials. Build quality is probably going to be quite a bit better on that Land Cruiser, and I feel like that is a direct competitor to this Bronco. However, do I think I got a mosquito in here? So there you go. Even in the wintertime, the mosquitoes are trying to get me. I got him. I got him. Also, I definitely take, like I said, I take this over a Jeep. But a top of the line 4runner. See, the 4runner isn't as peppy with the 4-liter, but we'll be getting a new 4runner soon. So I would take a current 4runner over this. It's way quieter. It just feels more sturdy. This looks way better than the 4runner. So if all you care about is looks, get this, because this is one of the most amazing looking vehicles on the road, in my opinion. And for the price, like I said, it's worth it. I would just be picking probably the Land Cruiser 1958, the entry level, or the decked out launch edition, or the other Land Cruiser editions after that. So let me know down below, would you pick this over a Jeep? Would you pick it over the upcoming Land Cruiser? Man, the Everglades edition is pretty cool. The worn winch, the huge tires. I wish, like I said, we got the skunk ape branding on here, and that would be hard for me to pass up because it would make it feel that much more genuine. But yeah, I gotta throw this in the turn right here for you guys. Not, you know, even though it sits up super high, it doesn't have much body roll. And even though this is a less powerful 4-cylinder that's available on the Bronco lineup, I feel like it's more than enough. Like 0 to 60 is probably around 7, a little over 7 in this. So I am happy with the Bronco from every standpoint, I would say, other than just how loud this truck is. Let me know down below if I'm making too much out of that, but for me that's important, and I like to be in a quiet vehicle without creaks, rattles, without wind seeping in, without an exorbitant amount of tire noise. I feel like that's been the major point of me in the driving impressions, but that's the only negative thing I have to say. But it's such an important thing for me that I have to beat a dead horse over and over. I got it ended there. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see what your preferences are. Bronco, Jeep, Land Cruiser, 4Runner. I'll see you down below. Battle it out. It's got plenty of power, man. That 10-speed is so good. Ford, well done with the powertrain. Well done with the design of this. I got to catch you guys in the next one. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Hit the like button and have a great one.